You talk too much, you explain too much, you defend too much. You're hemorrhaging power with every word that spills from your mouth. The strongest men in history understood a truth that weak men never learn. Silence is the ultimate weapon. When chaos erupts around you, when accusations fly, when people demand explanations, the man who walks away without a word wins everything. You've been taught the opposite. Defend yourself, explain your position, fight for your reputation. This is the advice of the powerless, given to keep you powerless. Every day, you're dragged into battles you can't win. Arguments with people who don't listen. Debates with minds already made up. Confrontations designed to drain your energy and steal your peace. You think engagement shows strength. You're wrong. Engagement shows you can be controlled. The ancient Stoics faced execution, exile, and torture. They didn't beg. They didn't plead. They didn't waste breath on explanations that fell on deaf ears. They understood that dignity lies not in what you say, but in what you refuse to say. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while philosophers attacked his decisions. Senators questioned his judgment. Citizens demanded explanations for every policy. His response? Strategic silence. He acted according to his principles and let his results speak. Epictetus was born a slave, beaten, chained, treated worse than an animal. He could have spent his life explaining why he deserved better. Instead, he focused on what he could control: his thoughts, his responses, his inner freedom. His silence in the face of injustice became his pathway to wisdom. Today's world is designed to make you react. Social media baits you into arguments. People provoke you into responses. Every platform wants your emotional engagement because your emotional engagement is profitable. But your power isn't profitable to them. Your peace threatens their chaos. Your silence exposes their noise for what it is: empty sounds signifying nothing. The Stoic path to strategic silence: words are weapons. Most men fire them wildly, hitting nothing, wasting ammunition. The Stoic warrior chooses his battles. He speaks when speech serves a purpose. He remains silent when silence serves power. This isn't about becoming mute or antisocial. This is about understanding that every word you speak either builds your strength or bleeds it away. Most conversations do neither. They simply exist to fill the void where purpose should be. Step 1. Master the art of strategic withdrawal. When someone attacks your character, your first instinct is to defend. This instinct will destroy you. Defense implies guilt. Explanation implies accountability to people who have no authority over you. Argument implies their opinion matters more than your peace. The strongest response to false accusations is no response at all. Walk away, literally, physically remove yourself from the presence of people who are trying to drag you into their chaos. Don't announce your departure. Don't explain your reasoning. Don't give a speech about dignity. This isn't cowardice, it's strategy. You're not running from battle. You're refusing to fight wars. You can't win on battlefields that don't matter. The person hurling accusations wants your energy. They feed on your emotional response. They want you angry, defensive, desperate to prove them wrong. Give them nothing. Your silence will unnerve them more than any argument could defeat them. Step 2. Understand the power dynamics of communication. Every conversation has a hierarchy. Someone leads, someone follows, someone controls the frame, someone reacts within it. When you feel compelled to explain yourself, you've already lost. You've accepted their premise that you owe them an explanation. You've submitted to their authority to judge you. The Stoics knew this. Seneca was accused of conspiracy against Nero. He could have pleaded. He could have defended. He could have listed his years of loyal service. Instead, he accepted Nero's judgment with grace and asked only for the privilege of choosing his own death. This wasn't surrender, it was ultimate control. By refusing to beg, by maintaining his dignity in the face of injustice, Seneca won immortality while Nero is remembered as a tyrant. You face smaller battles, but the principle remains the same. When someone demands explanations you don't owe, when they insist you justify decisions they didn't make, when they try to make you responsible for their feelings, silence is your shield. You owe explanations to exactly 3 groups: your superiors in legitimate hierarchies, the people you've genuinely wronged, and those whose judgment you actually value. Everyone else gets your silence. Step 3. Transform silence into action. True Stoic silence isn't passive. It's not sulking or pouting or giving someone the silent treatment. It's the conscious choice to channel your energy into something that matters instead of wasting it on something that does not. When you walk away from meaningless arguments, you walk toward meaningful work. When you stop defending your reputation with words, you start building it with actions. When you quit explaining your decisions, you start making better ones. This is the difference between reactive silence and strategic silence. Reactive silence is what children do when they're upset. Strategic silence is what emperors do when they're focused. Your actions will speak louder than any defense you could mount. Your results will answer criticisms better than any explanation you could give. Your success will silence your critics more effectively than any argument you could win. Focus on building, not talking about building. Focus on achieving, not explaining why you deserve to achieve. Focus on becoming, not defending who you already are. Step 4. Weaponize others' need for response. Here's the secret they do want you to know. Most people's attacks are actually cries for attention. They want your reaction because your reaction gives them significance. When you refuse to react, you expose their powerlessness. When you remain silent, you reveal their noise for what it is: desperate attempts to matter in your life. This drives them crazy. They'll escalate, they'll try new attacks, they'll bring in reinforcements. They'll do everything they can to provoke a response. Stay silent. Every escalation on their part makes them look more unhinged. Every attempt to provoke you makes them look more desperate. Every word they waste trying to get your attention proves how little they matter in the grand scheme of your life. You become the calm center around which their chaos spins. You become the immovable object against which their unstoppable force breaks itself. This is true power, not the ability to destroy others, but the ability to remain undisturbed while others destroy themselves against your indifference. Silence reveals who you really are. When you can't hide behind words, when you can't deflect with explanations, when you can't manipulate with arguments, what's left is your authentic self. Most men fear this revelation. They've built their entire identity on what they can say, not who they are. They've confused eloquence with intelligence, volume with authority, response with strength. Strip away the words, and what remains? If the answer frightens you, then silence is exactly what you need. Silence also reveals who others really are. When people can't get a reaction from you, they show their true nature. The manipulators reveal their desperation. The bullies reveal their weakness. The attention seekers reveal their emptiness. This is uncomfortable knowledge, but it's essential knowledge. You need to know who people really are, not who they pretend to be when they can control the conversation. When you master strategic silence, everything changes. You stop being everyone's emotional dumping ground. People can't drain your energy if you don't give them access to it. You become magnetic. Scarcity creates desire. When your words become rare, they become valuable. You develop real confidence, not the fake confidence that comes from winning arguments, but the genuine confidence that comes from not needing to win them. You save massive amounts of time and energy. The hours you used to spend in pointless debates can now be spent on purposeful action. You become genuinely intimidating, not because you're aggressive, but because you're uncontrollable. People can't manipulate what they can't provoke. The weak man talks about what he's going to do. The strong man does it. The weak man explains why he made a decision. The strong man lives with the consequences. The weak man defends his reputation with words. The strong man builds it with actions. The weak man needs others to understand him. The strong man needs only to understand himself. Your silence is your power. Your peace is your strength. Your refusal to engage is your victory. Let others exhaust themselves with noise. Let them spend their energy on sound and fury. Let them reveal their weakness through their desperate need for your attention. You have better things to do. The next time someone tries to drag you into their chaos, remember this moment. Remember that you have a choice. You can feed their need for drama, or you can starve it with your silence. You can explain yourself to people who don't matter, or you can save your energy for goals that do. You can win meaningless arguments, or you can win at life. Choose silence. Choose power. Choose victory. The strongest man in the room is often the one who says the least. Be that man. Hit like if you understand. Subscribe if you're ready to stop talking and start winning. Then close this video and practice the most powerful skill you'll ever learn: the sound of your own silence.